Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Donna Michelle and today I'm doing my 2021 vision board and I'll be going over how to create one just in case you guys are interested in learning if this is maybe your first time. But this is my 2020 vision board that you are seeing, and I did this one at my first vision board party at the end of 2019, and it was thrown by Paper Panda and the Fabulous Planner. It was so much fun and held in this beautiful all pink and cute home. It honestly was the most memorable event, and normally I like to do mine the month before the new year or on the month of the new year, but I held off making this vision board so that I could record it for you guys, just to kind of give you my thought process on how I do it and all the steps that I take to create this. And I just want to note that it's never too late to make a vision board for yourself or your family. So for those of you who are interested in making one, again, it's never too late. So now let's talk about what a vision board is in case you aren't aware. A vision board is a visual representation of what matters to you and what you want to concentrate throughout the year. And it can be categorized into something that relates to your career, dreams, love life, your faith, health, family, friends, traveling, and even wealth. It's whatever is important to you and that you want to focus on. So I love making vision boards every year. They have just been a good way of staying mentally mindful of the things that I want to focus on throughout the year. So when making a vision board, people like to make them in different types of ways. Some make them with a poster board and glue, or a cork board like me to stick pictures on. And what I've been seeing lately are digital vision boards that are framed or put on their computer desktop. There are honestly so many ways to make them. Whichever you prefer, it doesn't matter as long as you have it and you put it somewhere where you can constantly see and stay mindful of what you are trying to focus on, because vision boards are kind of used for envisioning or manifesting things. So I recommend you put it somewhere you will constantly be reminded. Mine will be on my wall next to my computer where I work and edit my videos. So like I said, this is my old one. Most of these things are still relevant for 2021. So what I'm going to do is get rid of 2020 and replace the year, as well as replace some of the damaged images and add a few new things. And towards the end of the video, I will do an overview of my 2021 vision board. Because this video will probably be long, I will make sure to timestamp everything in the description box for you guys. So let's get started. The hexagon cardboards I bought came from Target, and they come in 3 tiles and only cost me $8.69, and I needed some extra ones since I was going to add 1 or 2 new categories to my vision board. This is what it looks like and comes with sticky strips. This item has 2 different sides that you can use. In the back it has a soft black foam board. I don't use that side since I'm only interested in the cork board side. As you can tell on my old one, I have gold push pins, but for some reason it was hard for me to find gold push pins in my area. I don't know if there's like a shortage, but I went ahead and bought some silver ones. And as some of you might already know, I'm a bit OCD about certain things, so we will see how long I go before I decide to spray paint them. Now, one of the most time-consuming parts of creating a vision board has to be finding your pictures and then printing them out, aside from putting them on your board. But I found a lot of my pics on Pinterest, WeHeartIt, and Google. My process in finding photos is I save them on my Pinterest board, and then I later go through them and remove whichever don't fit in my color scheme or my aesthetic look that I'm trying to go for. Then when I decide on my photos, I save them in a Word doc and resize them to my liking and then print them from there. Obviously you'll need scissors, glue, or what I like, double-sided tape or glue dots. I'm telling you guys, they are game changers. Comment down below if you've already made a vision board for 2021 and Or what's something you added to this year's vision in case you reused some of your 2020 like I did. And in case you didn't notice, from here on out, I will speed through for you guys. When it comes to cutting my pictures, usually I just go with the flow on how I feel like cutting them. You can cut them in circles, squares, or rectangular shapes. I normally like my pics to have a bit of a flow to them so that they aren't so straight and sharp when I layer them on top of each other. This year I have 2 new goals, so I wanted to include a social media and school goal to this year's vision board. I want to manifest that I will be accepted for the Marriage and Family Therapy program, for short MFT, at USC. But right now it's still a waiting game, and I won't know if I get accepted until April, I believe, after my interviews. Also, this year I'm turning 30. Yeah, the big 3-0. And 30 has always been a huge monumental age for me growing up. I had this envision that when I'm 30, I would be literally thriving in life, having kids already by 25 and stopping at 30, and by that point having my master's in MFT and owning my private practice, which has always been my life goal. And so pretty much I envisioned that when I hit 30, it would be pretty much me having my selfish year to get to think about me and focus on me, to have the body of my dreams and not have to worry about popping out any more babies. I literally had this plan for so long, but you know, life just had other plans for me. And that was really a hard pill for me to swallow. And while I was looking for photos, I did come across this quote that said, "It is what it is." And I thought it was a perfect reminder because I have to let go of those ideas and move forward with how things are and be grateful for what I have at 30 and to remember to just enjoy it. Comment down below if you can relate and had similar struggles and what you did to get through it. I'd love to hear from you guys. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but looking at these pictures remind me how bad my printer is. These pictures are not great. And I try to explain to my husband that my printer is a college printer. And granted, it's not a necessity, I know, but it would be really nice to print good pictures when needed and not have to worry about distorted and pixelated pictures. So as I was cutting, it hit me, it would be a lot easier to use a paper cutter to cut all of these pictures out instead of using scissors. So note to self, if you have a paper cutter, use that first. So now I'm going to separate what is from my social media, school, and personal board. This is where the best part comes in, where your creativity comes out. I'm going to start with the school board first. First things first is always put the year down. Don't forget the year. You'd be surprised how many people forget to add the year, and I think it's the most important part to note in your vision board. Any Trojan fans out there? I want to know in the comments. Don't comment if you are a UCLA fan. We don't want that here. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys are new here, I am a huge USC college football fan. It's a big part of my family's life, and I always looked forward to rivalry week versus UCLA because it's been a running joke in my family since we are all divided. And you will come to notice during football season, I start to plan the games in my planner. So where are my Trojans at? I really love this photo that I found of the campus sign, and originally I thought maybe I would cut just the sign out, but then I figured, you know what, this photo is so cute. I love the colors, it matches, and it just looks so pretty, and it kind of reminded me of a posted card, so I figured, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it and keep it in my board looking like a posted card. I really think this would have looked really good as a digital vision board. But something about cutting the pictures and planning it out like this is just so therapeutic to me. And I think that's what keeps me coming back to doing vision boards. It's just kind of like therapy. So I really enjoy making vision boards on a board like this. And now what you'll be seeing is I'll be taping some of the lifted areas down. I like to have some of my pictures with a push pin and some of the other ones just taped down so that it looks more like a collage than a million push pins in every photo. So now I'm going to speed up the rest of this board so that we're not here all day and you guys can still kind of get the idea of my thought process in planning out this board. Planning this board was honestly a tough one. I kept going back and forth and trying to fill up the space, and I think it could have been better, but oh well, I mean, it works out. And if I do ended up getting into the program, maybe I can add some more awesome little tokens or whatnot onto that school board. But yep, this is my school vision board. Now let's get on to the next one. So, like I previously said in the beginning, this is my old vision board and I need to fix my family section because we went through 2 moves and it got torn and bent through the process. So, I want to try and salvage the little pieces and replace the house and the family part. I am so in love with this photo. It just looks like a beautiful dream house, and when I found this back in 2019, I told myself that in 2020 we'd be living in a big house, living in SCV, and I just can't believe we freaking did it. We didn't buy, but everything just kind of fell into place, and it kind of just felt like it was meant to be. And yeah, I just feel like I ended up manifesting our plan, and we love where we live and we don't have any plans on leaving anytime soon. But for now, I definitely want to still keep it in my vision board, only because I want to remind myself that the end goal is to still own our own property one day. Now, to save some time, I am going to speed up the rest of my planning process time. So here we go. And that's my personal section in my vision board. And on to the next one. So, and this is my social media board. Originally, I was going to separate my social media and my business board onto 2 different boards, but then I decided to just combine them since they technically are related, and there's a lot of space on this board already, so I figured it won't hurt to just add them both. So I had an idea of using this photo with this, and it's my goal for the end of the year. It would be nice to shoot for 1K, but I'm not the type to shoot for unrealistic goals, and I would honestly just be happy to receive 500 by the end of this year. And speaking of followers, I want to give a shout out to all of the new followers that I received recently. I was hit with a spike of new followers, and if I've already said your name in my previous shout out and I say it again, you're welcome. I can't keep track of all of them, there's so many, but yeah, so I'm about to just shout out everybody that recently followed. And if I butcher your name, I am so sorry. I am completely horrible with names. Like, I cannot, but I'm gonna do my best. So, shout out to I Olives, and I Anime Dreams, Harley Nicole Plans, Missy Slaughter, Laura Jane, Sumbul Amir, Angie Atchison, Rox Lavelle, Tracy Rodriguez, Renata Bus, Ola Houghton 1, Jocelyn Connect, Emily K, Love Him 1, Crystal Hunt, Daniela R, Alexis Benton, Annika Lal, Amber S, Remedy for Love 18, Dina Hesu, Auntie 928 Tina, Lauren Holmes, Judah Luckets, Elise Mayer 02. Again, if I botched your guys' names, I'm so sorry, but thank you all. And for those of you that did subscribe and I couldn't see your name, it's most likely because you are private and it didn't show up on my end. But thank you, everybody. Hopefully I can keep growing this channel. You guys are awesome. So here we have it, my finalized social media board. And here is my full 2021 vision board. All 3 cork boards together, and we will be going over each one by one. So the first one we are going to review is my personal section. Up at the top, we have my dream house. Not to say I'm looking to buy anytime soon, but just to have that vision in mind to remind us that one day we would like to own our own house again, and hopefully it will be big enough to fit other family members that we can help support and have them live with us. Plus, we also have a lot of family members who live far from us, so when coming to visit, they can definitely come and stay with us. I also want to focus on starting a family this year, whether that means naturally or seeing an infertility doctor. And my dream family car is to own a Grand Cherokee Jeep. So I thought it would be cute to keep it in front of the garage of my dream house. And I can't decide if I want it in black or white, but I definitely want one. And up at the top right, I have Love Your Body. I have gained a lot of weight over the year and a half, and it had to do a lot with my medical issues, stress, and a ton of injuries that have honestly just prevented me from being able to work out and take care of myself. So this photo is a reminder to myself to love my body and to try to work with what I got and little by little get back to being healthy and fit. And here I have this photo that has been with me since 2016. I have printed multiple copies and kept it with me because I love what it says. It says, mental health is just as important as physical health. This was what I wrote on my grad cap when I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's in psychology. I love that it's being talked about more lately and we're breaking that stigma of mental health. And in the center, I have my word of the year, conquer. And if you haven't watched my video for the word of the year, I will link it up above on the iCard for you to watch later if you're interested. But if you've already watched it, you can probably already tell that the quarterly goals I set to focus on my word of the year, conquer, are also reflecting in my vision board. And at the bottom of this board, I have this cute collage that represents health and wellness to me with a side of healthy fruits and picture to remind me to stay active. I am a runner and love running, and her shoes are so cute, and it was just a perfect reminder for me to keep running. And as discussed earlier, I turned 30 this year, and it's a big deal for me. And I have this quote on top that says, "It is what it is," to remind me that it's okay, go with the flow, you're fine, and that 30 is still going to be amazing either way. And lastly, I have my self-care collage. It's a reminder to continue to take care of myself, especially now with the pandemic. This is very important, so I wanted to continue it and keep it in for 2021. So that's my personal part of my vision board. Now let's go to the next one. So here is my social media and business section. I ended up making some changes in between the filming, and I think I like the way it's set up now. A lot of these I've kept still the same as last year because there are still things I want to keep in mind and work on, and one of them is hand lettering. I can tell you with 100% truth, I suck at it. But I still try because I want to learn how to do it, and hopefully one day will be able to. And then next to that is a pile of discs. The Discbound system has changed my life and made a difference in my productivity, so I wanted to incorporate that in my board. And underneath that, I have an old fortune teller that I've held onto for years. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's discolored and wrinkled, and it lived in my wallet for so long. And when I ended up making my 2020 vision board, I moved it out of my wallet into my board. And what it says is, you will spend many years in comfort and material wealth. I don't know if that is true, but I thought it was awesome. And my husband can attest to the fact that I always get crappy fortune tellers. I don't know what it is, but I always do. And this one was one, and one of the only best ones that I've ever had. So I decided to hold on to it in hopes that maybe it'll come true. And here I have a reminder to wake up, kick ass, and repeat. And hopefully one day receive a YouTube play button. That's what that big YouTube symbol is supposed to be. The reward that you get when you meet a certain amount of criterias in your channel. So I want to try and shoot for that one day. And down here it's top secret, but I love the way it looks with the swatches. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. And in the middle I have this quote that says, passion plus consistency equals success. Consistency was my 2019 word of the year, and I decided to keep that quote to continue to remind myself that consistency will then create success. And down here I have a camera that represents to keep going with my videography and photography that I do for Instagram and YouTube, and it literally looks like the camera that I own, so I thought that was perfect. And the book next to the camera says, it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. And I thought that was perfect and just fitting when I was looking for a picture of a camera to add to my vision board. Then here we obviously have a Discbound planner, and I layered it with my 500 follower goal, and at the bottom of that I added an Instagram and YouTube icon. That's the goal I want for both of them, is to have 500 followers. I'm not that far away from it, and my husband is hopeful I can make it, but we'll see what happens. And up at top, I really love this drawing. I thought it was so beautiful and represented me back in the day when I used to draw realistic art. And my materials were always just paper and pencil. I just naturally have always had a creative bone. And so this photo was a reminder to myself to stay creative. Lastly, I have this quote that says, a good idea becomes a great idea when you let it out. And that's what I felt like I did when I came up with my business idea. And from there, I kind of just ran with it. It's still a work in progress, obviously, because I have not been able to talk about it. But I'm hoping sometime this year, maybe I can get a little further into creating what I want to create for you guys. So that's my social media business section for my vision board. And now I'm excited to go over this one. I am manifesting it. This will happen. And I'm hoping it's just not a board that I created for funsies. I want to manifest this. I had a dream to always go to USC. It's my dream university. I want to be a Trojan and represent my school colors. Even if I don't get accepted, at least I can say I tried, because I don't want to spend the next few years wondering what if, because I've been doing that since I graduated high school. So that's why I'm taking the leap of faith and applying this year. I have the fight on to remind me to keep going. If you're another Trojan out there, fight on. I have this Trojan for life down here because I am a Trojan no matter what. They can never take that away from me. No one can ever take that away from me. I will always be a Trojan. And lastly, we have the psych reports and coffee, and a definition for hustle, and the funny cup in the center of my board that says MFT, which stands for Marriage and Family Therapy. Underneath it says, because freaking awesome is not an official job title. My aspiration in life has always been to be an MFT to help a broad variety of people. I can't tell you how many times I've had to re-record this part because every time I look at this board and talk about it, it makes me so emotional because it's a very important thing for me and it's really just emotional for me to talk about. But this was it, my school board, and now it's time to bring out all of them. So this is it. This is my 2021 vision board. Like I said, I will be putting them on my wall next to my computer where I work and edit my videos and photos. I hope you guys enjoyed that and stuck around to the very end. If this video happened to inspire you, I would love to know in the comments. Thank you guys, and wherever you're at, I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.